Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Ready to Love Last Resort. So, with this episode, it kind of had everybody mingling at the resort or whatever, and Raymond was still trying to get his bid in with the ladies and letting them know, still letting everybody know all his tea. Cool, do what you do, but I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. And I don't think it had nothing to do with his age. He ain't no ugly dude or none of that. It ain't got nothing to do with that. So anyway, Tommy came in and let everybody know that this week the women have all the power and two men will be going home. So Calfani and Joy are vibing, which makes sense. They are the two main people of the men and the women who everybody lives for. And, they're having a little moment where they're vibing, and I'm like, okay. Adriana is still living for Rashid for what? I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. I'm just like, girl, bye. What? Why? But anyway, I ain't here for it. Chris is talking to Naya, and Naya is the one who has like the short bob situation, and typically, he would not date someone like her. And, they seem to be hitting it off just fine. I don't know what's going on, but, they seem to be fine. But yeah, it is what it is. So they having them a little moment. Y'all, Simone and Raymond are talking because, both of them were in the bottom last week. Girl, but I just really hope, I'm sorry, I'm not here for Simone. I'm not here for it. But anyway, they talking. And she's talked to the men, and she's learning that all the men who don't live for her think that she's guarded, and that's why she was in the bottom two last week. And I'm like, girl, that is not it. They ain't here for you. Talking about in every conversation, you need to get me a Birkin bag. You need to do this with money. You need money. That's all they hear you saying is money. Like, that is literally the problem. I'm just saying. That is literally it. Like, let's not beat around the bush. I don't understand why people don't want to just be straightforward with this helper and say, the reason why we ain't here for you is everything out your mouth got something to do with money. It's just the 1, the 2, and the 3. Let the 1, 2, 3 into the 4. I'm not understanding. So anyway, just stop lying. She is on the hunt for a rich man. Why are y'all not being real about it? Just saying, it is not about love. It is her being on the hunt for a rich man. Naya and Chris went out on this date, and they were kayaking or whatever. Was that a kayak or a canoe? That was a kayak, right? Oh, okay. So, because I ain't into stuff like that. I ain't got time because I ain't got time for them to be getting capsized. No. But yeah, they, seem to have them a little moment. And when they got back on dry land, they sat down and they had some white wine and they were talking and they discussed kids. And I mean, they really had a pretty interesting exchange and the vibe was there. So I don't know if they've made a real connection like that, but so far so good. Brian said that when he, was about to come here and when he first got here and all of that, he was purging, doing like a little purge where he went through his phone and he was deleting people. He like just went through and just deleted everybody because he really wanted to make sure he was here for the process. And I'm like, well, that's good that you want to get ready for the process. Cool. Hopefully you really are ready to love. But he is one of those people who I don't see him like that. So at this point, to me, he's at the back of the pack. And he might be going home in any minute. But because I don't see him that much, he's always going to be considered to me until I can see more somebody who is in the middle or to the back. And to me, he's towards the back because I very rarely even see him interacting with people, or at least that's what they show us, which is basically nothing. Y'all, they ended up having a group date where it was Raymond, Simone, Joy, Jay, Alicia, and I think that's it. And they were discussing kids. The main focus of the conversation was Raymond and all of his kids, and I'm just like, sir, Okay. You know, they're like, oh well, are you ready for love and all this other stuff. He was like, nah, I'm not here for all of that. I just want somebody that I can share love with. I already have found love. I just need somebody that I can share it with. I hear you, but Brian. Brian, I think is the dude who is like really country and all that or whatever. He ended up doing this pool party, and they ended up having a push-up contest where all the men had to take their shirts off and do all of that. Denise, I don't know how long Denise gonna be on here, but I'm here for it. She be reading, so she was reading Rashid, and she's tired because you know everybody having their fun over there, looking at all the muscles and all the chocolate and all of that that's going on all around the place. But she, you know, did her confessional and was like, yeah, I ain't got time for Rashid. I can see through it. He appears to be a narcissistic person. I have dated someone who is narcissistic, and I ain't got time. Like, I ain't here for it. I'm like, girl, I'm not here for him either. I'm just not. I'm not here for it. But yeah. So Rashid is really trying to appeal to all these women, and I'm just like, I don't understand, and I don't see it. I just don't. And in all honesty, it just seems like, oh, girl is the only one living for him. And I'm just like, girl, why though? Adriana, why are you living for him? Okay, Denise is talking to Calfani, and he, per her words, is a gym rat. And like he look like a little Shannon Sharp in the making. Shannon Sharp is fine. Shannon Sharp is like 50 something. He looks good. Seems to me he got finer as he got older. I don't know what is going on, but he is chocolatey. Y'all understand. Shannon Sharp fine for no reason to me. But anyway, but he looks like a Shannon Sharp in the making to me, as far as the build is concerned. But you know, she was talking to him, and she typically doesn't really go for that because some of the dudes that do things that he does, because he's very into fitness, like a whole lot. She didn't really know if that might be something that she could be missing out on, so she didn't want to miss out on anything. She didn't want to sit up there and skip over him because of that, and he might have been a connection that she, you know, missed out on, all because she doesn't really all that much agree with the lifestyle that he might be leading and what it usually alludes to. So, you know, they had a moment and it was all right. Everybody pretty much lives for Calfani, so it is what it is. Alicia, aka Tandi's, you know, the person who I always kind of compare Tandi, her and Tandi, I always compare them a little bit, their similarities. She was talking to Brian, and they had a moment where they were playing pool, and she has 2 kids, right? And the gist of the conversation went like this. If we were together, how would this go? Would you be willing to take care of me and my children? Because, you know, I am fabulous. There are things that I require of a man. He straight up told her that, you know, if I'm with you, I'm with you. Yeah, I believe in he literally said, I'm here for taking care of bills and everything. I'm a man, it's my responsibility. But then he turned around and said, well, I ain't the one who brought these kids into this world. So I mean, basically told her you gonna have to help too or something. I was just like, oh my God. It turned her off immediately. Everybody is done. Everybody's like, what? So it already is like, because he made it seem like he would basically take over the financial responsibility. He ain't trying to take over the financial responsibilities for her and no kids. And she's high maintenance too. She already makes that very plain and clear to everybody. That she's high maintenance and she expects certain things. I was like, oh gosh. At this point, they had like a little moment where everybody was gathered around and the ladies let the men know that Chris is like the one that's at the top. He's running the pack right now, and he is the main contender at this point. He's an amazing contender. And I ain't gonna lie, like he chocolatey. He look good, but I still don't agree with how he just busted all out that first day. I'm just saying, I get it. And you could be here today, going tomorrow, but I feel like he could have just still showed off the physique without having no shirt on under the suit. I was just like, wow. But anyway, y'all. So anyway, here we go. Rashid set up a competitive group date. And it was like a big Jenga type situation. And the way it was set up, they had questions, they had truth or dare, or just things that you could just do depending on what it said. And it was just your choice to do. One of them was daring somebody to kiss somebody. And Rashid ended up kissing Adriana, and I rolled my eyes as hard as I possibly could. Yeah, I was tired. But yeah, it was just random stuff like that. So it was kind of like a lot of flirting going on and oohs and ahs, but it was pretty cool, I guess. It was alright. Y'all know I ain't here for Rashid. I ain't here for him. Raymond is trying to talk to Adriana again because he already made it plain before that younger women seem to be more receptive to what he's done in his life and what has come out of what he's done as far as having 5 kids and living that lifestyle. And she ain't, all that much into him anymore because of some things that came up in the conversation. He said that, he's at a point where he kind of doesn't see the point in really getting married like that. But it might happen, but not really. But at this point, if you're already doing everything that you would do if you had the paper, then what's the point? That's kind of like what he was saying. And he's just like, I want somebody who's just gonna roll with it. And so that did not sit well with her. And I'm just like, yeah, everybody there to get married. Everybody there because they want to get with somebody and get married. So you at the wrong place, sir. I don't understand what's going on. You ain't gonna make it. The ladies ended up meeting up with Tommy and expressed to him all the dudes who they thought were amazing. There are some great matches for them. And when Adriana said Rashid, every time, look, wait a minute. First of all, when all the women said whoever they said, if it wasn't Calfani, if it had something to do with like some sort of a negative connotation in Denise's mind, they would pan the camera over to her. I'm like, why y'all keep doing that? Or they kept doing outtakes and making sure to put the camera on her. I was so done. I'm like, why are y'all doing this? But anyway, when it came to certain dudes, they just kept panning over to her. And you could just tell she was like, I'm not here for this. Like, why are you here for this man, Heifer? Heifer, why are you here for him? And so her facial expressions was killing me. So they ended up discussing David. And early in this episode, Joy got into it with David. And then David was like this in her face. And so everybody was like, what is he doing over here? Why? And he kind of got into it, like really trying to, tell her what it was. And wasn't nobody here for that. Wasn't nobody here for it. Like everybody was done when he got into it with Joy. Denise said that men will try who they think they can. And Adriana took huge offense to that because we all know that Rashid was the person who we knew that she was referring to, because ain't nobody here for Rashid. Ain't nobody here for him but Adriana. And Winter said that Rashid is dry. Like, I'm just like, yeah, come through with the real. I am not crazy. People be thinking that I'm crazy, and I'm like, I'm saying that I'm seeing something. I know what I'm seeing. I said what I said. I know what I said is right. I knew I was not crazy. Everybody else see how trash he is too. And I'm just like, yes, I know I'm right. So anyway, Winter said that Rashid is dry. So there are going to be 3 men who are in the bottom this week. 3 in the bottom. Those 3 men, 2 of the 3 men are Adriana's 2 top men, and that is hilarious to me. And of course, that's Rashid and Raymond. And the 3rd person that's in the bottom is David. Y'all, Denise and David linked up. Winter and Rashid linked up, and Adriana and Raymond linked up. So they had to go and talk face to face to these people to discuss what has happened and what the ladies have been thinking and all of that. So they ended up sending Raymond home. Ain't nobody got time. I mean, he had a lot going on. And then what put the icing on the cake for everybody is when Adriana dropped a bomb and let him know that he ain't, you know, that into marriage like that. And he kind of like, if I mean, the option is there, maybe not. It's not no definite. Oh, I do want to get married. Like you too iffy. We already dealing with too much as it is. You got 5 kids. You living like a rock star. You're doing the most already. And there are some people who had a problem with his age because he was the oldest person there because he was like 52 or whatever. But yeah, it's, to me, I'm just like, oh, you had too much going on. You got 4 baby mamas, and that's 4 different people outside of the 5 kids. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got to deal with 9 people outside of him. 9 people outside of him you already got to deal with. That is too much going on. So I already knew he wasn't going to make it. But yeah, he didn't make it. Then David is talking. Who I told y'all he was talking to. He's talking to Denise. And he's trying to really state his case. And I'm like, bruh, it's not going to work. It is not going to work. You don't understand. You was already like this in Joy's face. You was doing the most with that. Then Alicia did not like your commentary when you was basically like, I'm going to need for you to come up off of money and take care of your kids. I mean, my kids. But it's like, you can't say that you're going to be in a relationship with the woman and not build something with them. But he really was trying to be like, no, I ain't mean it like that. What I was saying was, of course, it makes sense that if I'm with them, then yeah, I'm going to take care of her and her kids. And she was just like, that's not the way it came off. And he was like, yeah, my delivery might have been wrong, but that ain't the way I meant it. And it was just like, she was just like, no, it just ain't what it is. You rubbed everybody the wrong way. Gotta go. And so when he did his little confessional, his little ending confessional, you could tell that he was very upset. You could tell that he was in his feelings or whatever. And he talking about, I'm going to find me a queen. I'm going to have me a queen one day. And she going to be able to see that. She going to be able to see me for me. And I'm like, bruh, you was doing the most on, I don't know what he was on this episode, but it was not it. The women was not here for nothing. Rashid skated by the skin of his teeth. If it wasn't for David showing out this episode, you would have been gone, Rashid. You would have been gone. You would have been gone. The facts are the facts. I already told y'all Raymond wasn't going to make it. He just looked up last week. I already told y'all, hopefully, I guess the week after next. Because I think next week the men have the power or whatever. But hopefully he'll be gone the week after that. Because no, unless he does something to cancel himself out somehow, or just go home because he realized that he trash, he got to go. I'm sorry. I am not here for it. Ain't nobody here for him but Adriana. But anyway, I said what I said. And he's just lucky that David showed out. That's the only reason why he's here. That is the only reason why you're still here, Rashid. If it had not been for that, you would have been gone. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this recap review. I will be back hopefully later on today. But I'm about to get off here and play my video game before work. Y'all have a good one.